dangerous hurricane could be coming towards the East Coast. I'm currently looking at the ensemble models for the current GFS run, and there are numerous models showing a hurricane. Look at all these models showing a very dangerous situation. The first ensemble showing monster hurricane going into Florida, almost a Katrina type track. Actually, looks like a Gene, looks like a Francis type track. Here, this one. This one, thankfully, doesn't show much of anything. That'll be a very good track. This one shows a hurricane, you know, a fish storm, Hurricane 1 of 2003. So it looks like it may be heading towards Nova Scotia here. Hurricane 1 of 2003, but with some East Coast effects. So it looks like the Gulf storm here will be dominant. So this storm looks like will be the dominant one over this one for one of the models. So it looks like with that model, the Gulf storm here will be the dominant one. This one, the Gulf storm causes the storm here to be dragged north. See that? Being dragged north into New York. This one here shows a very bad scenario. This is one of the worst scenarios I'm looking at right now. Another possible almost Katrina-esque type track. But I think the worst track right now, the worst of the worst of the worst, I have to say, is probably this track right here. Maybe this one. These two tracks are about the worst. This one shows a near direct hit in New York. So grazing North Carolina, then just scraping New York with very strong winds and heavy rain. But I think for East Coast effects, this may be the worst one here. Or not really, no. So this is another possibility. So here's a Gulf storm going into southern Texas as a pretty significant hurricane. Then the second storm, the one that most models think it's going to go up the East Coast, goes into the Gulf and goes into New Orleans. This is a major hurricane. Damn, this is the worst track. Actually, no, this is the worst case scenario of all of the ensemble models. This is the absolute worst case scenario. Okay, then it just lingers in the Midwest and there's just a lot of rain. This is also a flooding scenario for the Midwest. Look at all this rain from the Midwest. A lot of flooding. So an East Coast hit. This is pretty bad too. This is a near miss for New York. No direct hits. Actually, this is the only one with the direct hit for New York, but maybe as a strong tropical storm for New York. That's a Floyd track right there. So nothing shows a true direct hit for New York as a hurricane. So that's a good thing. It's like it's either gonna go like this or like this. You cannot get. I mean, nothing says it can't go right into New York like that. That's an absolute worst case scenario. But the worst case of the worst is this one right here, shows almost Katrina type track right into Louisiana. And the operational shows a very bad scenario for Florida. Here's the operational, here is the operational run. Just showing a monster going up this coast. Look at all that rain. This is showing a Category 5 right off the Florida coast. You have 144 knot winds right off the Florida coast. See that? 138. Hold on, I'm trying to find that 144. Wait, I think I found it. 144 knots. Yep, right there, 144, Category 5. Right for quadrant. Yep, that's a Category 5 hurricane. And these are sustained winds too. gonna go up to 85 knots now, or 850 millibars height. That's 149 knots. Definitely a Category 5. That is a true Category 5 of every word. Yeah, it's a Cat 5 when that occurs. Atlantic. No, Mid-Atlantic. No, Southeast. Southeast. That's the one I wanted to look at. Okay. Let's go to 237. 149 knots. That's a Cat 5. Actually, 149 is supposed to be here. So this is where the eye is going to be. But now you're looking at 925. Now I'm going to show you 925, which is basically so you're going to have of course you're going to have almost no wind in the eye. But how is it going to form? It's already forming. It's already there. That system is already there. So let's look. So got a little dot right there. That's basically the system. You could even see the swirl around it right there already being picked up by the model. And let's look at that. Developing hurricane. A little cold pool right there. And then disaster for the East Coast. A big rainstorm for New York with a lot of wind, 50, 60 mile an hour winds for New York. This is the current model. The last run showed something similar. Showed a hurricane going up the East Coast, but hitting North Carolina, but then skirting off the East Coast at the last moment. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.